Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn a new lesson of class 6 science, that is chapter number 11, Air Around Us. The aims and objectives of these lessons are to know about air, that what exactly air is, to know about different constituents of air, what air is actually made up of, to explain air as a mixture, to know presence of air in water and soil, and to know interdependence of plants and animals. We have learned that all living things need air, right? But can we see air? No, we can't see air. How do we know that air is present all around us? We can feel the presence of air in so many ways, like rustling of leaves of trees or fluttering of pages of our books, right? These are the ways by which we can feel the presence of the air. Now, we are going to talk about an activity in which we will conclude that air is present all around us. Dip the open mouth of the bottle into the bucket or tow. You can see in the picture that is filled with water. Now tilt the bottle slightly and observe what happened. You will observe some bubbles coming out of the bottle, right? Yes. Can you guess what was in the bottle? Yes, exactly. Air is in the bottle. Now what we have learned from this activity? Air occupies space. Air is present all around us. Air has no color and air is transparent. Now we are going to talk about atmosphere. Our earth is surrounded by air in the form of a thin layer, and this thin layer is basically called the atmosphere. The atmosphere extends up to several kilometers and the air becomes thinner and thinner as we go high up from the surface of the earth. Now what is air made up of? Until 18th century, people thought that air was just one substance. But no, what actually air is made up of? Air is a mixture of many gases. There are water vapors present in the air, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, dust and smoke. All these constitute to make the air. Now we are going to talk about water vapor. Now the question arises in our mind after listening the word that from where the water droplets on the outer surface of the glass tumbler comes from, right? As you can see in the picture. Now the answer is when the water vapor present in the air comes in contact with the cooled outer surface of the glass tumbler, the water vapor condenses and drop of water appear on the outer surface of the glass tumbler. Therefore, water vapor is present in air. Now we are going to talk about oxygen. So there is an activity. Fix 2 candles on the table. Light the candles. Cover one of the candle with an inverted glass tumbler or bell jar. Observe both the candles carefully. Why the candle covered with glass tumbler or bell jar got extinguished? Because the candle got extinguished because the component of air which actually supports the burning inside the tumbler or bell jar is limited. That's why it's got extinguished. Now, what is the name of that component of air? That is oxygen. We can see the same concept in combustion also, right? Now we are going to learn about nitrogen. Nitrogen is the major component of air. Unlike oxygen, it does not support burning. It takes up nearly 78% of the air. Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide make up a small component of the air around us. Plants and animals consume oxygen for respiration and produce carbon dioxide. Plants and animal matter also consumes oxygen on burning and produces mainly carbon dioxide and few other gases. Now, dust and smoke. The burning of matter produces smoke also. Smoke contains a few gases and fine dust particles, and that is also very harmful for us. Why we see long chimneys in factories? The long chimneys in factories take away the harmful smoke from our noses. Now we are going to learn about dust and smoke by an activity. So find a sunny room in your school or home. Close all the doors and windows with curtains. Pull down to make the room dark. Open the door or a window facing the sun, just a little to allow sunlight to enter the room only through a slit. Look carefully at the incoming beam of light. What do you see in the beam of light? Tiny shiny particles. As you can see in the diagram, what are these tiny shiny particles? These are dust particles. What you have learned from this activity, that air also contains dust particles. Now, why do you think the policeman is wearing a mask in this diagram? The policeman is wearing a mask because the policeman always exposed to dust and smoke of the vehicles, which is harmful to the health. Therefore, in order to protect from dust and smoke, the policeman is wearing a mask. How does oxygen become available to animal and plants living in water? Now again we are going to know this by an activity. Take some water in a glass or metal container. Heat it slowly. Well, before the water begins to boil, look carefully at the inner surface of the container. Can you see tiny bubbles at the inner surface of the container? Yes. From where these tiny bubbles come from? These bubbles come from air which is dissolved in the water. Now, what you have learned from this activity? That oxygen is present in water and the animals living in water use the dissolved oxygen in water for their respiration. Now, the interdependence of plants and animals. Plants releases oxygen during the process of photosynthesis. Now, what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is a process by which the green plants make their own food with the help of sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, etc. Animals and plants uses the oxygen during respiration and releases carbon dioxide. We all know that. In this way, the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is maintained through respiration in plants and animals and by photosynthesis in plants. Now, what we have learned in this chapter, let's summarize it. First, we have learned that air is found everywhere. We cannot see air, but we can feel it. Second, moving air is called wind. Third, air occupies space. Fourth, air is present in water and soil. Fifth, air is a mixture of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, and few other gases. Some dust particles may also be present in it. Sixth, a layer of air that surrounds the earth is known as atmosphere. 7. Aquatic plants and animals use dissolved air in water for respiration. 8. Plants and animals depend on each other for the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide from air. Now, the assignment questions you have to do is, what is atmosphere? Which gas in the atmosphere is essential for respiration? Why during an incident of fire one is advised to wrap a woolen blanket over a burning object? How will you show that air supports burning? Air contains highest percentage of which gas? You have to solve these questions, students. Thank you.